All right, guys, everyone is always asking me, should I eat grain-fed cows? Because grass-fed is expensive, so we're going to go over that today, plus leaky gut and the fatty tea thing right now. What's up, everyone? So I'm here at Liberate in this beautiful studio, and we're going to be talking about some grass-fed versus grain-fed, some leaky gut, and some fatty teas. Because, and what's up? Hello, everyone coming into the chat. And a lot of you guys are asking me, Steph, can I still eat from, let's say, a grain-fed cow? And that's a very interesting subject. I'm going to show a video soon showing you a little bit more. I found this really short, kind of hokey, but so true video about grass-fed versus grain-fed cows. Hi, everyone coming in. And so I thought it'd be good just to show you guys. And, you know, the thing about the grass-fed versus grain-fed is that grain-fed cows sort of taste better in some ways because it's so fatty and juicy and fattened up. And so I believe, they put them in the feedlot at, I think it's 12 to 15 months 12 to 15 months. And they're eating grass. So the majority of their life, I'm not an expert at this, so y'all ranchers chill. They're eating grass the majority of their life. And they also, before they send them to the feedlots, they're not going to send them to sick cows to a feedlot. So they have to pass certain regulation to even go to the feedlot. And then they fatten them up. So they gain, I think it's from 500 to 600 pounds. These mother suckers were right there. Not these are grass fed. And I think these are Jersey cows. So these are the brown and white cows. These cows are infinitely better. They are A1 cows, no, A2, my bad. A2 cows. For some reason, the black and white cows, which are, I think they're Holstein cows, those cows are mutants, right? They are mutants. They're genetically mutated cows. People tend to get more sick off of those cows. I know, I look like I will have the wrong hat on. I should have worn my cowboy hat today since I'm riding horses all the time. But I think they keep them in from 150 or 150 to 220 or 40 days to fatten them up, 500, 600 pounds eating grain. So that's when those poor things get obese. They're fat, wobbly, they're sick. There's toxins in the fat. So people always think that there's, is it okay to eat grain-fed liver from grain-fed cows because I can't find grass-fed liver and all this kind of stuff. And so I've been researching more and realizing that the liver is not storing the toxins, it's the fat. So if you're doing a grain-fed ribeye, in that marble is a lot of sick cow. They're obese. So they have all the same issues that we have. So I'm going to show you a video that explains it better than moi. Y'all ready for this?
Roll it.
Roll it.
The term grass-fed has been defined in different ways. In Italy, or milk fed, grass-fed is very different from grain-fed.
Is the volume high enough?
Fat and the fat that it has a different fatty acid profile. Grain-fed cat slaughter is a naturally obese that would not exist in
The sound cut off, can hardly hear it. It's exactly what I said.
Close to life expectancy.
Can we stop it?
So what that means
Stop playing the video and work with the volume?
The volume is right.
They can't hear him.
I just don't really
Start the video again.
The flesh.
Let's stop, just stop it. And then I'll ask if they heard. If they can hear.
As it is, the consumer almost.
All right, you guys. So my Greek god.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to start it again.
We're gonna start it again because y'all couldn't hear. Yeah, my voice was off. I was talking to him, reading the comments, and we're gonna link this video below. But we're gonna play it again because it's pretty short. You guys, he turned up the volume. So we're going to play it again. And if the volume is too low, again, let us know. Start over, Greek god. God messes up. Can you type if they can hear it? Oh, they can hear me?
The term grass-fed has been defined many different ways by many different people. To me, it means the animals are never fed grain, never confined to feedlot.
And we don't use performance-enhancing drugs. Grass-fed beef is very different from grain-fed beef. There's not nearly as much fat. And the fat that it contains has a different fatty acid profile or lipid profile. The grain-fed animal at slaughter is a naturally obese creature that would never exist in nature. If I gave these
It's an awful echo. Awful echo.
and so we're not going to slaughter you at 22 months of age. We just let you live out here and continue to eat grass. They probably live 24 years. If you took a feedlot animal and gave them a presidential pardon at 16 months of age, weighing 1,275 pounds, they wouldn't live very long. If they were left in that environment, they would never live anything close to the life expectancy of a cow. So what that means is when you eat those animals, you're eating a creature that's dying of the same diseases of sedentary lifestyle and obesity that kill most people anyway. And I just don't really intuitively believe that eating the flesh of a dying animal is good for me. Really, as hard as it is, the consumer almost has to know something about the food production system, know their farmer and the way their farmer's raising their food to be sure they're getting what they think they're getting. The term grass-fed has been defined many different ways by many different people. To me, it means the animals are never fed grain, never confined in a feedlot, and we don't use performance-enhancing drugs. Grass-fed beef is very different from grain-fed beef. There's not nearly as much fat, and the fat that it contains has a different fatty acid profile or lipid profile. The grain-fed animal at slaughter is an unnaturally obese creature that would never exist in nature. If I gave these animals a presidential pardon.
Right now?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sound echoey. How do we know if we are buying? So, did you have my mic on?
Yeah, I have your mic on.
No, did you have it on before?
No, before no.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought this was a really great video of him explaining the cows and how they're obese and how they're suffering from the same sort of metabolic disorders as we are as obese people. So he said he would prefer not to buy a grain-fed, which I explained before. They are grain-fed right before they die. They're not born and eating grain the whole time, but they are supposed to gain about 500 to 600 pounds and be obese. So you saw the image. Sorry, you guys, for the sound. Now I can make.
There are stuff that I need to figure it out.
Yes.
Only in the life I can figure that out.
I love my Greek guy, but he's a typical man, because like when you tell him, I was saying the volume's too low, he's like, the volume's fine. And then the comments started coming in, right? Okay. But we love him. Okay, guys. So I'll link this video below, and it's really important that you guys, there's, you know, like I said, if you are having a ribeye, you're gonna have the same metabolic disease in the fat that a fat person would. So if you look at a fat person who's obese, that's exactly the same issues as the cows are having. High blood sugar, they have corn toxicity, they're not healthy. But if you literally don't have any money and you can only, like, I have people who I do consultations with in China, and they're like, to get grass-fed beef, it's, I think, this was in Japan. No, this was in Japan. My friend said it cost me $60 to get, I think it was 1.5 pounds of grass-fed beef, $60. So he went with chicken because it was just too expensive. And that's why in Asia, they typically are eating more pork and chicken and fish. But now I am going to talk about another subject, because we're going to try to move this along faster. And Greek God. Hello.
Yes, hello.
It's that coffee he's crashing on.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm getting ready for the next topic, but as I'm getting out of this one, it's really up to you guys. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, beef and red meat is the most nutrient-dense meat. Not the fish, not the white fish, not even salmon, but red meat, especially beef from a cow. And cow's liver and organs are so good for you and packed with so many vitamins and minerals. It's unbelievable. So, you know, if you can only afford grain-fed, I'm not going to hate on you for that. I'm not going to be the grass-fed Nazi or something like that. But I wouldn't say that grain-fed anything is okay. So you're not going to say it's okay, but I'm saying, Luis, if that's what you have, now we know that the toxins are more stored in the body fat rather than the liver. The liver is filtrating everything. But what's up, Keishel? So let's see. I'm not talking about melasma right now, but I will talk about that another time. Now, don't forget to like up the stream. How many people do we have in this chat now? Oh, 57 watching. Okay. Now I want to go into, I hope that makes sense. Do you guys have any questions more about the grass-fed beef? You know, things like the thymus, the kidney, the liver, all of these organs are good for, like, people who've got lung issues. So lung, kidneys are also good for diamine oxidase production for leaky gut, which we're going to talk about next. And then also the brain. The brain has a lot of vitamin D for those thyroid people. Also, you could do brain and liver. So liver is going to help you with the selenium, the zinc, and the copper. And then with the brain, you could have the D and start to heal that thyroid, Hashis, and hypo. Well, and your whole lifestyle, of course. So I made a, yeah. You guys, you can blend it all. You can use ground beef as your base if you like are freaked out about the organs, and just blend your liver or blend your kidney and put it together with the ground beef and then make a hamburger out of it. All right, so we're going to the next one without me saying anything. It's not my fault.
My fault.
Everything's his fault. I sent him everything before, and he's been drinking coffee. So that's what happens when you drink coffee. Brain doesn't work. All right. A good website to order from. So sorry, Sherry, if you want the real organs, it can be from any place that's near you. Obviously, there isn't one company that ships everywhere, especially for international. The international market are powdered forms of organ meats. Okay, so they're better than, we don't have mad cow disease here, so don't worry about the brain here. And this is from grass-fed cows, so no, they're not going to regulate brain if there's any type of mad cow disease going on. Like, that company would be sued and people would be. So you guys know that I am sponsored. It's my only sponsor. It's called Ancestral. Do we have the graphic for that? We have Ancestral. There it is. Ancestral supplements there. And the code for that is, the discount code is Steph Keto. They are the best organ meat supplement because they do everything. There's a lot of companies that do liver, but they don't do brain. Like, it's brain, trachea, thymus, kidneys, adrenals, thyroid, and they even do collagen. So there you go. And liver is really great because it's completely, like, it's the most nutrient packed organ and food on the planet, bar none, because it has vitamins. It's got your fat soluble vitamins, the whole B complex, vitamin C, vitamin D, E, A, and K, and then has all these great minerals in it, like selenium, copper, zinc, and iron that you guys need. Menstruating women and all this kind of stuff, and thyroid people and blah, blah, blah. Men who need zinc for their testosterone, and it has zinc copper balance. Thank you. You're welcome, Sherry. Do you get the same vitamins from grass-fed if you get green? No, you're going to get more, obviously, from grass-fed. You do get the same profile of it, but you're going to have more because you're not going to have think about it. Everybody who's sick, who's mineral deficient, you're going to be deficient in things if you're just eating corn and soy. So yeah, you're not going to get the high quality of micronutrients. Thank you, Mark. You're always so sweet. Thank you so much for donating to the Super Chat. You're not going to be getting as much nutrition out of a grain-fed cow. That's just how it is. So there is the company, and I'll link the website. There's the code Steph Keto. Can't really see it,
but have the link.
Yeah, we have the link. It's already in there. Okay. Do you think pituitary and hypothalamus glandular would help regulate hormone production? Seeking truth in Christ, everything's contextual. So just said like that, no. No, you have to have everything in balance. You've got to be able to poop to get out the estrogen. You've got to get, let's say, I'd rather have you guys be doing like whole liver to get that zinc and copper for your testosterone production. You've got to do everything to balance your hormones, especially women with thyroid issues. They've got to do a lot of stuff to balance that thyroid out, especially sealing that gut wall. Thoughts, do you recommend any other companies for powdered protein organ meats besides Ancestral? Why would I do that? That's my sponsor. Hell no! I'm sorry, that's not the brightest question. Okay. No, they're the best. Everybody knows that they're the best. So even if I'm sponsored by them, we all know that's the best. So why would you take another one? And they ship internationally. So, and the other ones don't. It's about size of 1/2 inch on my phone. I know. Oh, it's in the description below. If you can't see it on the phone, you can do it on the description below. Or you can do a screenshot and blow it up. Can I give the supplements to my child? Yes, of course, of course, of course. There's no binders, fillers, and chemicals. It's just desiccated, dried out organ stuck in a capsule. Is it better to get it in its whole form? Of course, but if you can't, you can get it through Ancestral. Thanks. I'm taking Ancestral liver and used your code. Thank you, Luis. Awesome. Let me see how to change your diet if you have floating poop. So that's a good leader into the next video. I'm still waiting patiently for you, but I know, keep waiting. It's coming. I'm just finally getting a bunch of stuff done, finally, to be able to get that. The book's finished, you guys, just has to be edited and photographed. Now, let's do the next video. We're going to talk about leaky gut. And before you show the video, I want you guys to understand leaky gut. Now, I don't have a slide for the actual gut wall, but I will next time, another time. You guys, you have the small intestine, and then you have the large one that goes from the right over down to the left, and then you poop it out. And the problem is you have your stomach, and then you have the entrance to the small intestine, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's the entrance to the large intestine. But then you have the small intestine that sits under the stomach, and then you chew, and then it'll go down to your stomach. You guys don't have enough hydrochloric acid. A lot of you guys have hypochlorhydria, which is low stomach acid. In the stomach, you also have enzymes and peptides and protease to break down your everything, your fat, your protein. So when you guys do like fish and chicken and soft meats, you're losing a lot of the important digestive enzymes to be able to break down your food, essentially. So when things go into the small intestine, you already are having issues with the digestion. Now, when you guys are eating foods that are adjutants like grains, and everybody's like, oh, raw milk. But if people have a sensitivity to casein, there's a thing called cross-reactivity. Cross-reactivity is when your body thinks that the casein and like everything, even the small amount in butter, is a very small amount, but there still is, and it's a protein. Cheese and kefir and raw dairy, it doesn't matter. Your body thinks that protein is wheat gluten. And so it does a thing called cross-reactivity, where the body just stamps it as the same adjutant, foreigner invading the body. And so when people are like, oh, everybody take raw milk to heal the gut, that could screw you up. So you have to, everything's in context. And especially if you've developed histamine intolerance. So the gut wall should be tight, right? And then it opens up and it's permeable, like very permeable. Big things into the bloodstream, your body starts to attack itself, and then you develop autoimmune disorders. So yes, you guys, Deborah's saying book a consultation. You can go to stephanieperson.com, and she's explaining what I do, and she spelled it there below, and she's talking about, she's answering Sherry about her daughter's eczema getting healed through keto. Don't forget to check the frozen aisle of the meat. They have some selects there. Yes, like sometimes at Whole Foods, they'll have grass-fed liver there in the frozen section. Very rarely do they have it in the non-frozen section. Is leaky gut when the villi and the intestinal tract are damaged? Yes, and the intestine develops micro tears. They're not tears, they're just kind of open walls. See, the villi are these little hairs, and they break off. They're like shag carpet, and they break off to like Berber, and that leaves the wall vulnerable. So now we have no filtration to filter it down into smaller sizes. And that opens up the gap junctions and makes it big in the wall. And then things start entering the bloodstream. And then when your stomach acid is low and the wall isn't tight anymore, that's when you develop histamine and issues and cross-reactivity, and it's a cluster frack of a mess. Now, let's go into this short little video, and it just kind of explains, you guys, and listen to this. It's very simple and explains it really good. I just ordered 3 bottles of supplements from Ancestral. Yay! You didn't know how to code. Oh, if I didn't email you, Honey Child Mike, I've got like 20,000 people emailing me all day long, and I get back to 80%, but sometimes I don't get back to everyone because it's too many and all the social media. But here we go. So if you ever order again, Mike, then you know there's the code. Yeah, I'd like to get a membership subscription code too. But let's show that video. What's up, Mario?
If it sounds echoey.
If it's echoing,
Only...
just like turn my mic. Just type in there. Let them know that if it's
Our intestines are lined with barrier cells
called epithelial cells that transport nutrients from
Can you type
food
in there?
into our
Yeah.
bloodstream. These epithelial cells have tight junctions between them to ensure that no undigested food particles, digestive waste, or toxins escape into our blood and create health complications. Healthy epithelial cells are supported by a balanced microbiome of good and bad bacteria, which is supported by a nutrient-rich intestinal environment. Stress, poor diet, lack of exercise, and use of antibiotics can disrupt our microbiome and intestinal environment. These disruptions can lead to weak epithelial cells and loose epithelial junctions. Without tight junctions, undigested food particles, digestive waste, and toxins can leak out of our intestines and into our bloodstream, causing inflammatory immune responses, various digestive disorders, and changes to the normal function of the digestive tract. This is often called leaky gut. So what can you do about it? A nutrient-rich intestinal environment helps support a healthy microbiome, which helps support strong epithelial cells and tight epithelial junctions. Therefore, an effective way to help prevent leaky gut is to maintain a healthy, nutrient-rich intestinal environment. This can be achieved with whole food and plant-based nutritional intake, good eating habits, and lifestyle management techniques like
Of that. Okay. Besides the ending of that, don't eat grains. That doesn't fix the intestinal wall. But I thought the reason why I showed this video was because it had a really good visual on how the intestinal wall looks like and how things pass through. It was such a really simple way to just show you guys. So that's the reason why. But at the end, they're like, eat grains to fix yeah, I know. No, it's the thing about this Seeking Truth in Christ. I wanted to cut it off before that ending came, but we are just trying video for the first time, so everything's just kind of going like, we're just, the next stream it'll go more smoothly. But no, bone broth does not necessarily heal the gut if you have a glutamine issue. So, everything's contextual. Now, Seeking Truth in Christ, the video is just to show you what the wall looks like and the damage to the wall. Their solution to heal the gut is absolute garbage. It's actually contradictory to that's what gave you the bad gut wall. Yes, you guys, I have a keto course page where I go over keto, standard keto, omnivore, keto, carnivore, and also low carb, high fat. Just so you guys know that. Let's see here. Okay, cartons, walls for the echo. No. John, it's not 8 cartons. This is a soundproof room. The problem is I'm mic'd, you see, and the mic is picking up it being played through the computer. That was the echo. So until we turned off that mic, it echoed. So, it's just figuring it out. Eat, suffer cramps, stomach pain. Whenever I eat, so I don't know what you mean by that, Sarah. So here's the thing about keto and the gut wall. Let me get some water here before I freaking get a headache when I get home. Whenever I don't drink water, I get a headache.
Everybody has the same.
Everybody has the same problem. But keto people have it worse because carbohydrates make you hold on to water in the cell.
Oh.
Yeah, so when you don't eat carbs, you don't hold on to water. That means your electrolytes are coming right out of you. And so you got to be really on your water consumption, your electrolytes. I'm talking to the Greek god. That's what I'm looking over there. Your water consumption and everything has to be on it.
Okay.
You feel way, way worse on keto without drinking water. And did you know that coffee is a diuretic?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys are losing your minerals, you're losing your water, you're losing your electrolytes with that whole coffee is good for you absolute lie nonsense.
That's why in Greece, whenever you order a coffee, get a bottle of water.
You only have an hour. He's like, in Greece, you just order a bottle of water with your coffee.
No, it comes with a coffee.
Sorry, I didn't know that. He says that it comes,
And nothing beats the taste of coffee, so.
Nothing beats the taste of coffee to a junkie, yeah. Okay, sure, he's like, tell him. I still love him, though. Okay, No decaf, Amanda. Get rid of it. It's toxic. It's got mycotoxins on it. It has oxalates, lectins. Most of the antioxidants are killed off when you roast it. When I drink raw milk, it digests easily. But I bought store-bought milk. Yeah, because raw milk doesn't have all of the hormones and the garbage in it. And grain-fed cow milk is from sick cows. Plus, they give them antibiotics, and they give them because their udders become infected from just producing so much milk from the Cesar and Janine is in the house. Hi. So I started watching her channel. You guys should go to her channel. She's got this very soothing voice. I can't explain it. She's just like, she could say the meanest stuff and sound so sweet. It's true. Yeah, I really like that because she has her own story, I think, of being a vegan. And she is talking about, so I watched her videos almost maybe 10 months ago, a year ago. And even though she has the same problem I've had for years, which is she's filming her videos from her phone to her computer. So Cesar and Janine, you should talk to my tech guy so you can it's not hard actually to get yourself in the corner of a shot and just do a screen share and show your audience so you don't have to take your phone and film your computer. But besides that, her content and talking about everything, and she's like, help, LOL. Yeah, I will ask and I can send it to you if you go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and inbox me there. I can send you help there. But yeah, so anyway, her content, she's going over the whole vegan dogma and all the problems she had with it. I think a lot of it was talking about low iron. And she was talking about her hair thinning and her daughter and all that kind of stuff. So now she's just like, I'm not a vegan anymore, and let me tell you how to heal the body. And so I really love her content. Coconut meat really it's not a keto fat, Sherry, so just forget that. And for those who are very sensitive to carbohydrates, it can spike your blood sugar. So people who've got good GLUT4 receptor development can do well with coconut meat because they can clear out the glucose well. But that's why some people can have their carbs higher than 20 total carbs a day. But a lot of people can't adapt on that. Sorry. Let's see here. Yeah. Anemia and hair loss. She was suffering from being a vegan because you're not getting enough heme iron. That's why we got cows behind us, so you can get your heme iron. And you guys who are suffering from anemia, especially women who are heavy menstrual, who've got endometriosis or fibroids, you need to get on that liver. Chicken liver, I think, has more iron than actually beef liver, but both will do fine. And Deborah's reminding you guys to like up the stream, which is to collapse the chat by hitting the X and hitting the thumbs up and then reopening the chat with a chat icon. Yes, red meat heals very much. But unfortunately, Siren, in her channel, I made a comment to her on her channel. I never, ever, ever, I don't know why, Janine, I made a comment. Siren, Janine, I don't know why I made a comment. I never do, ever, never, never. I get tempted and then I stop. Because she was talking about how kefir or raw milk heals everybody. And what I said was, no, if you have histamine intolerance, because that gut wall, you have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which is typically why people will drink raw milk. But for me, who has a histamine issue, if I touch raw milk, first of all, you can't do raw milk on keto because there's too many carbs. But for those who are doing low carb, high fat can. And some people end up having a reaction to the casein and in the milk, and that's in cheese, raw cheese. So just be careful. Don't run to the milk just because everybody says it healed them. It's totally individual. Similar to cacao contains caffeine too. Yes, not cacao butter, but raw cacao does. The dark chocolate does.
I was asking about the cacao if it has the same effects of
and with mycotoxins, which is mold. Yes, but no, coffee, yes, they both have oxalates in them. Yeah, they do. Yes, there's just less caffeine. Yes, they do. Okay, let me see. What about heavy cream? So, Manuel, for people who are doing, if you don't have, like I said, histamine issues, you can do cream. Try to do raw cream. For those who are doing keto, it's a no. It just makes their blood sugar. That casein, it just spikes blood sugar. It just does. So you don't adapt. You want to do low carb, high fat? You should. So low carb, high fat would be about 100 carbs or under a day. And what I suggest for people to do, because so here's the thing, Janine, you can't do like squash and zucchini and, you know, bulb onions and things like that to get your carbohydrates, or carrots. It's just not enough carbs. You would have to eat a lot of them. So what I suggest for people to do is white rice if they don't have that cross reactivity issue where their gut's so screwed up they can't even do white rice. And I say white because all of the anti-nutrients are bleached out. That's why Asians eat white rice, because they don't get as sick on it as the brown rice. And so that would be your starch base. So you'd have about 1/4 cup of white rice each meal. And then you would keep your fats high. You do about 120 to 150 grams of fat a day. And to give you an eyeball amount, 12 tablespoons of fat is 168 grams of fat. So it'd be under 168. So you probably have about 10 tablespoons of fat, and you would have your fat in between so you don't put them together. Raw milk for carbs, not enough. It's 10 grams of carbs. It's not enough. So you could do raw milk, and you can do a little bit of white rice, and then have like butter or tallow or lard and your organ meats and your beef and your other fatty meats. But you'd have, if you guys are low carb, high fat dependent, which I think the next stream I'm going to do the whole thing low carb, high fat, talking about it. If you're going to do low carb, high fat, you have to time out your carbs because they're so low compared to a standard American diet that your glycogen depletes really fast. And so you don't want to develop hypoglycemia on low carb, high fat by just trying to fast. That'd be not smart. So you would have to go and do a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, and you would have to do these little tiny amounts of snacks in between to keep enough blood sugar steady, and so you don't develop hypoglycemia or thyroid issues trying to do low carb, high fat with just not eating enough fat or eating enough carbs. And let me see, I'll try to think. So coffee addiction comes genetically. Look, I tried to get him off coffee and he was just like, I can't, Stephanie.
That was the answer to drinking chicory root instead of coffee.
Oh, okay. No, chicory root has too many carbs for anybody doing keto, so that's a no. Let's see here. Dandelion tea can be used to replace coffee, but it's a diuretic. Yes, it's a diuretic, and I don't know if it has tannins in it. I think that's a good, let's pull up that article about teas, because I found this to be very interesting. So here's an article right there about drinking tea can hinder iron absorption because of the tannins in there. And I think also they can deplete your calcium as well. So can we scroll a little bit through this? Now I can't see it because it's too small, but if I just go by memory of this article, they're talking about particular teas. I think chamomile was one of them. And I'll link this article as well. Do you want to just blow it up real quick so people can see? It doesn't matter if I'm covered. Let's see here. You see, tannins or oxalates are some of the natural occurring compounds that's said to inhibit the absorption of iron. They bind to iron, specifically non-heme iron food in plant foods, like beans and leafy greens and stuff like this. This is why, like, you know, like here's the thing, like the iron in spinach is so useless. I mean, here you got oxalates that bind to the iron that's actually in the plant, so it's just so much better to just eat liver instead. So we got black tea. What else? Do you scroll? No, just scrolls through the article. Slow down. Browners, astringent flavor tannins have different purpose from protecting the plant, which is the anti-nutrient. Let me see, promoting growth of the planet. Melatonin, tannins in black tea. Varies depending on the variety and growing conditions. So I always have been for years, I've been evolving a lot through this whole keto experience. I didn't like that overhead light.
A little bit forward.
Why? Okay. The point is that I'm always having people drink a lot of fatty tea, and I've evolved in my whole keto thing over the last, I've been talking about, I've been doing this for 12 years, strict keto, no carbs, no sugar, no nothing for the last 12 years. And I did carnivore for about 9 months, and I'm still mostly carnivore. Oh, somebody was timed out. Let me see. Green tea has high in tannins. Yes, green tea is high in tannins. Black tea is high in tannins, and then chamomile is high in tannins. Rooibos, which is a South African tea, which I love, is lower in tannins. And I thought it'd be really good to start to for you guys to start to consider eating or drinking meat broth, because meat broth doesn't have any glutamate, it's high in potassium, and bone broth tastes like rotting corpse, and meat broth tastes like a lovely savory friggin' soup deliciousness. We have this thing like when we make like collagen very popular, which has unfortunately glutamate in it and it gives people headaches. Not everybody. My father is Greek. The coffee he drinks is some serious thick dark coffee. I think it's Turkish coffee. Ask the Greek god. It's actually the Greek guy, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Tea is worse than coffee for preventing the absorption of iron. I guess so. It could be, but coffee has other problems. So all the plants have different properties in them that do different things. And the problem is people constantly are drinking coffee, constantly are drinking teas. We're consuming these things out of season and all this kind of stuff. I saw you in the comments, showed up on my phone. I just hadn't had time today to say thank you. So yeah, so the kefir thing is a great idea, but Janine, when I try to drink kefir, I look 4 months pregnant. It's not healing nothing, because you can have certain amounts of bacteria in your small intestine, right? So you have the microbiome should be in your large intestine. Some things get backed up into your small intestine. And so when I'm adding in certain bacteria from like fermented foods, it's like you have to clear out the weeds before you add the seeds to grow new bacteria. Because if you put in a bacteria of something that you've already have like too much of, it creates an imbalance and creates a histamine response. So that is the reason why I say be careful that not everybody can run to kefir or raw milk to heal their gut, because for me it makes it worse. And other people as well. All those people who cannot do dairy at all because they get sick. Add sugar and coffee. That is the recipe for extreme addiction. I can only handle, and McCream. I'll only handle raw kefir. Store-bought kefir messes me up. Yeah, and that's raw kefir too, not any store-bought non-raw. If you're going to do kefir, if you can tolerate it. So let's clear out everything. We had this. I want to talk about oxalates for a minute. The shards of glass, black and white. Sauerkraut's the same, T-Roz. All fermented foods, you have to test it. You should never feel bloated when you eat something. We just are very confused thinking that feeling bloated is fine. It's not fine. So these are oxalates, you guys. You see this? See this? These are oxalates. They're like shards of freaking sharp glass. And they can distribute everywhere in your eyes, in your thyroid, in your adrenals. No, these are the adrenals inside your body. Your kidneys, especially obviously in the kidneys. But doctors are realizing they don't only just deposit in the kidneys, which are up here. They also deposit in your urethra, in your urinary tract. They deposit everywhere, and they damage in the joints. For people who've got fibromyalgia, it's not just wheat. Everybody's like, oh, wheat gluten. If I cut out the wheat gluten and do rice, I'm fine. Not true. Or rice milk. Not true. If I cut out this, I'm fine. No, those oxalates this is what they are. These are oxalates. They're little crystals and shards of glass that can go into your liver, your whole biliary system, your liver, your kidney, your gallbladder, your thyroid, your urinary tract. And there was one woman years ago, and this is before I started like learning more. She was like, you know, I have burning pain every time I eat. And she was eating a ton of spinach. Well, now I know it's oxalates, right? So I was doing a lot of spinach before. I was putting it on in the meal plans for potassium, which now I know that you can get potassium in bone marrow. If you don't have a glutamate sensitivity, you can get it in liver, and you can also get it in the leaner meats if you do a broth. Does cooking kill oxalates? So it doesn't kill them. Like with spinach, you would have to boil it. And I've done it before. It's too much of a pain in the butt. You boil it, you have to strain out all the water, because then all the oxalates will go into the water. And then, you guys, you can pan fry it, and that'll take down probably like 75% of the oxalates, but doesn't take them all out. You know, and it's okay if you guys have a salad every once in a while, but people are eating these things daily, and that's what's creating all the health issues. And people are not eating things in season. They're eating things out of season, because if you live in the US, you're getting things imported from South America. And now you're getting the phytic acid, the tannins, the salicylates, the oxalates, the goitrogens, the nightshades. You're getting it all the time. Oxalates, what foods are high in oxalates? Spinach is high in oxalates. It's spinach, chocolate, coffee, sweet potato, greens, kale. Those foods all have oxalates in them. Let me see. Char from Vegan Deterioration needs to see this. She got kidney stones from spinach. Exactly, right? I watch her channel. I watch both of you guys' channel. I don't know. That girl makes like 20 videos in a day. Like, I don't have time. Like, I just got my butt here to the studio. Like, but I love her channel. Like, she's a black girl too. I just so get like her in so many ways, but she does the vegan thing. I've kind of left that alone, Sarah and Jane, because I was never vegan. So I'm not like annoyed by it, but I'm annoyed that they had come to my channel for years. But yeah, you guys should go to her channel too, Vegan Deterioration. Like, she's on that freely stuff, like boom. Y'all know with my channel, I've been doing this for a long time. Siren, I was one of the first keto people, but then I got buried under everyone else because I wouldn't talk about weight loss, and I wasn't having people eating cheese and nuts and drinking butter coffee. And I talked about health, and that, got people to go to those channels where people are obsessed with that stuff. Let me see. I want to book a consult, just confirming that times are LA local. Yes, it's LA local time. So Julie, I think my calendar is almost full. I'll open it again tonight if I get home early enough, or tomorrow. And so I have Tuesdays. I used to do them every day, but then I just didn't have time to finish my book. So it's Tuesdays. Thursdays I do them in the afternoon. And so in the afternoon, that would be morning time in Australia. And it'll be it's 17 hours ahead, so it's morning time. So it would be, I think, like 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning for the 4 o'clock booking. So look at my calendar for that. I might have 1 or 2 more left on a Thursday. I just texted her. She's going to join now. Okay, cool. Well, let's have her join now and say hello to her. Us women, Janine and Shar, it's Shar, right? Is it Shar? Is it Char or Shar? I can't remember. Because I just know her as Vegan Deterioration. A lot of these women, there's just certain people on the internet you resonate with, and you and Shar are one of them. Yeah. And let me see. Oh, you pronounce it Shar. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Sounds like high oxalate foods are oftentimes also high in histamine. Yes. So, what's up, Shar? What's up, girl? I gotta say hello to her, you guys, because I watch. I don't know if I can shut up. I've subscribed to you, and honey, I watch your videos every day. I want to talk to Shar right now, Vegan Deterioration. Everybody go to her channel. Y'all go to Vegan Deterioration and to C. Siren Janine and subscribe to their channels, okay? Because I'm not one of those a-holes that don't tell people to go to other people's channel and subscribe. Now, so, Shar, I got to talk about you. Number one, girl, do not feel bad to criticize the way people look. Don't tell, girl, I'm 52 years of age, okay? Don't let anybody in the chat section or on your channel tell you how to do your content. Listen to me, girl, right now, okay? It took me, I've been doing this keto channel for years. You know, you're welcome. People, I got buried under the whole keto mess of lies, idiots, and foolery and fakery. Frackery, you know I want to say the real thing. Exactly. So, Shar, number one, stop saying I don't want to criticize people. Stop that. You're allowing people to control you. See, at my age, I don't let nobody tell me how to talk. People tell me, don't use your hands, you know, don't dress like this, do that, da da da. People, you know, don't talk to the chat. People on the replay, Shar, will tell me to not talk to the chat. Okay? I'm not, she needs a moderator. You need a moderator. I don't know, I haven't been on her lives yet. I've just watched all her videos. Until I'm the real deal. Yeah, so Shar, I just want to tell you right now, if you want to talk, because Shar, at one point I was going to message you, but I was like, I try not to just comment on anybody else's stuff because you get, you know, you want to say stuff, but you don't want to like influence people. What I want to tell you right now is that, you know, people tell me not to talk to the chat. I'm like, that's why I do lives. You know, if I wanted replays, I would just do static videos. First of all, thank you. It's hard. They were calling me a bully. So what? Who cares? Don't listen to them. Listen to me right now. I'm 52. I don't let nobody tell me how to act, how to talk, how to move, nothing. I decided that like a year ago. I'm like, I don't care. Shar, you have to ignore them. Ignore them. It's one person behind the camera telling you how to be. Don't listen to people. Because if you start listening to people, you can't survive in the future. You just can't. You go by what you want. When I first saw Vegan Deterioration's channel, I was like, this girl people need to see what she's doing, because what she does is she'll screenshot people's eyes and blow them up and start talking about the Sampako eyes and how people's hair is falling out and how they look anemic and all this kind of stuff. And then the vegans are saying that she's bullying them. And I was like, Shar, why are you reading these comments? Stop. Who cares? People need to hear this. People need to hear this. They need to hear what you're saying. It's not bullying. The truth is not bullying. Okay? When I was growing up, this triggered freaking people who are so sensitive thing. It wasn't bad. It's bad now. And since I'm 52, I know that y'all need to hush who feel triggered. Thank you, Brianna. You subbed. Awesome. My account has been weird. Something comments weird showing up. Okay. So Sweet Tea's like, exactly. So people know me now for being very, very opinionated, and I softened up because, you know, I didn't want to be the aggressive, angry black woman. And Shar, you do not come across as a bully. You're allowing their insecurities to affect your thinking. Stop that. Continue doing what you're doing. Pound it hard. Every time you see the word bully, ignore it, because people are controlling you. And all of the information, Shar, that you're giving out to people is golden. Every bit of it. It's golden. So when you start editing your videos to accompany other people, then they're not getting that great information. Yes, you need to hear this, honey. Because trust me, if you go back to my old videos, it's a long ass time ago. You know, Stephanie has been on the internet talking about keto forever. And all these new people like Bingleberry and the Lowers people, they just came in the last 2 years. And the reason why they have more subs than I do is because, Shar, I won't lie. You see what I'm saying? I won't compromise. I won't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what they need to hear. Okay? So know the difference. What's the healthiest tea to drink? Yeah, it's all overrated health benefits. It's all, you know, if you really want to be healthy, who said that? Robert, if you want to be healthy, just eat some liver, eat some organ meats. Yeah, I don't know if he's a shill. I think those words are just passed around words. I didn't even know what a shill was like a year ago. Don't change stuff. People love it when you get to them. We get to them because it keeps them stagnant. Exactly. So think about this, Shar. People, they're trying to get you to react. People will try to control you because if they can control you, and if you can say, oh, I told myself I'm not going to be critical anymore. No, stop that. Stop it. With your first video, Shar, when I first started watching, I was like, that's what's up. Then you start softening up and being careful. No. And the freely stuff, Durian Ryder's gone after my channel. I've had to block him everywhere. Durian was trying to get on my channel and, you know, my girlfriend looks better than her and all this kind of garbage and don't listen to her. And then Freely has never contacted me personally, but people have tried to pit me against her for years. So what I'm trying to say is the all of the things that are happening to these people who are eating plants, go for it, Shar. Keep it up. Do the 3 videos a day. You got me laughing. You have me laughing so hard with your descriptions. I can't. It just cracks me up. Yeah, I know Freely sees it, but like Freely can't attack Shar because there's nothing she can do. So you go for it. There's nothing Freely can do. And Sea Siren Janine's channel talking about her experience in her very soft, beautiful voice that attracts me and that literally kindness. Yeah, do it, Vegan Deterioration, and I'll go and I'll back you up on your channel. Yeah, just be honest. I'm telling you, what happens, Shar, is that when you decide to be yourself, ain't nobody gonna mess with you. Think about it. I've been doing keto for so long, and people are like, oh my God, you're gonna eat all that fat and you're gonna have a heart attack. And I'm like, but I look better than you. And I haven't had a heart attack, or else I'm a ghost. I'll say my streams, or people will comment, I'll be like, well, I must be a ghost because I've been doing this for 12 years, no carbs for 12 years, eating a ton of fat. My cholesterol numbers are like 350 to 400. And so what I'm saying is that people have always tried to control me. And then I realized, no, I'm going to just do me. And then after a while, they'll respect you. Shar, they will respect you. Trust me. Just trust me on this. Just trust me. Because you do so much vegan content and there's so many brainwashed vegans, you're going to get them talking. And listen to me. Listen to this now, Shar. You delete and you block them and you move on. Okay? Don't address them. Don't talk about them unless you trying to like expose foolery. But don't, I know Cabbage Turkey, I saw that one too. I saw that one too because I'm subscribed to both of you guys. What I tell you right now is if they try to bully you, just delete and block and move on. Don't listen, don't comment, don't react because that's what they're trying to get you to do. Okay, and I learned that. So I want you to go full on because people need to learn what you're putting out there. So there you go. Okay, so, right? That's what, and if you need my support, just go and I'll DM you or you can go to my Instagram, Stephanie Ketogenic, and we'll link up and also see your Sea Siren Janine, and we could be us women supporting each other on this stuff. We're stronger in numbers, right? Plus I'm 52, so ain't nobody gonna mess with me. People know they ain't gonna mess with me. No, Michelle, I'm not doing strict carnivore anymore. And it's not because it's unhealthy. It's just because I don't need to. But at the same time, my diet is mostly carnivore just because it's just easier to run out the door and I don't have to worry about all the anti-nutrients. Vegan Deterioration, just subscribe to her channel. See, there you go. And you know what, Julie, when you go to her channel, you're going to laugh your butt off. And also, Shar, those 1-minute videos are still good because you slowed down doing that. That stuff's hilarious. Those 1-minute videos, when I first saw her channel, I was like, oh, that's so smart. 1 minute, boom, boom, boom. So keep doing those intermittently in between. Let me see. Now, do we have, so yes, as you guys see, this is the stuff that vegans have, and they're not aware of it. They're starting to be aware of it, but they're not really, they're so brainwashed into thinking because of these documentaries like The Game Changer. It's absolute propaganda, garbage with this clear, cloudy blood, which they don't even surmise what that means, you know? So we just got to be careful. Stephanie has wide lats, visible. Seeking truth inquiry, stop. It's because I do pull-ups every day. That's why. Anyway, you had kidney stones from those oxalates in spinach. Exactly. So, you know, and the things that help dissolve them, unfortunately, is plants. So it's lemon can help dissolve them. Magnesium citrate will help dissolve them if you don't react to those two types of things. Steph, do you have any past videos on blood panels while on keto? No. Because people become obsessed with blood panels. So let me explain to you something like this. Let's say thyroid. Okay, so you have to take about 4 thyroid full panels to come up to a general line to understand your thyroid function if your T3 is too low, or if your TSH, your thyroid stimulating hormone, is too high. And people will go to their general practitioners, get a TSH, the doctor will say it's fine, but they won't sit and try to understand that their body's producing hormone it may not be getting into the cell to be uptaken. And then they have the thyroid symptoms, which is cold hands, cold feet, dry skin, thinning, shedding hair, and all this kind of stuff. And so these are things that people need to consider when it comes to just learning about blood panels. And the same thing for cholesterol. Now, cholesterol panels are pretty much useless because we need a lot of LDL small particles and big particle size. So if you have an LDL high number, if the particle size is big, and there's only 3 companies in the US that do the small particle Bs, so a lot of people don't even know their LDL particle size, and then they're afraid because it's a high number when it needs to be high if they're buoyant. See, spinach is an opiate apparently as well. Don't know if, I didn't even know that. Don't know if it has a negative side effects for people who eat it though. I don't know. It thinks, I think it weakly binds to opiate receptors. So Robert, I don't know if that actually is something, but because you see that these are oxalates here, these are shards of glass, these are the oxalates, that we know that they deposit in joints and in your eyes and in your thyroid and your adrenals and your gallbladder and everywhere and just mess up everything. So does it matter if it's an opiate or not? Okay, so do you have any more before it's time to hit the road, Jack? We have one more picture about tallow, right? Stomach cramps, pain after high-fat meal and floating stool. Here's tallow, you guys. I want to talk about tallow in a second, then bounce. What time is it?
It's 5:30.
Oh, 5:30. Okay. Okay. Stomach cramps and pain after high-fat meal, floating stool. So Sarah, it sounds like it could be your gallbladder, so it can be leaky gut, but most likely if it's stomach cramps, it sounds like you have either or a combination of hypochlorhydria or low stomach acid, low HCLs, but it sounds like your gallbladder. So if you have a gallbladder, if you have sludgy gallbladder or stones formed in the gallbladder, then you're going to need to try to get rid of them. And you can do flushes to try to get which is being on the toilet for 2 days to try to get rid of the stones. You also have to check your estrogen dominance because estrogen is a problem for thyroid and gallbladder people, extremely problematic, especially if you're constipated. So I would probably go get, and see if your stool is greasy, Sarah. I would go get some oxbile, take under the recommended dose because some people, you need to find out if it's stones, sludge. That's very important. So you might want to go do an ultrasound of your gallbladder. You fluctuate with spinach. What? Is that fucks? Oh. Finish the long way, 2 smoothies a day. Yeah. Oh, you did. Sorry, Alpha King. You ain't alpha on this channel because Deborah will slay your ass in 2 seconds, brah. Bye. Hi, Stephanie. Sugar addiction is causing me severe depression. Any advice you can offer? Cold turkey, thank you. I think you should go on keto or do low carb, high fat and get that fat high. Because when your fat is so high, your body needs, again, the stomach acid, you need to be able to digest. It takes a long time to break down long chain fatty acids. So in that process of breaking it down to get into, and needing a gallbladder to get into the bloodstream, you don't crave anything at all because the digestive process will block that sweet craving. So I would do full keto or low carb, high fat, and up the fats. I just messed with the whole spinach talk. I just started back on keto and bought a crap ton. Well, that sucks. Let's see. Okay, so here's tallow. So fabulous. Okay, so tallow is often, this is from cow. Now, beef tallow is really thick. It's hard to consume it. That's why I don't understand why people are afraid of pork. Pork is really good for the brain. And it's got a lot of monounsaturated fat, which is very, very good for the body and for keto people. Yes, fat helps with sugar cravings. Exactly. So tallow is very thick. It's like waxy thick. So for people who have a hard time tolerating eating it, people who've got a casein away or casein issue to butter, you can use tallow or lard. If you're sensitive to lard, you can use tallow here. And tallow, you can actually go and put it in a saucepan, melt it down, add some salt to it, put it back into a mason jar. It'll change the texture so it's a little softer. And then that salt will make it more palatable. And you would just take a chunk of tallow and put it on your plate. You guys know I've done a live stream where I'm just eating tallow straight in the mouth. A lot of people will have bacteria in them to break down oxalates. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's called Oxalobacter. Oxalobacter is a bacteria that helps to break down oxalates, but unfortunately, most people are low in that bacteria, Oxalobacter. How many avocados per day will knock you out of ketosis? So Brandon, avocados can't knock you out of ketosis if you have a functioning gallbladder and no histamine intolerance to if you don't have a latex allergy, because the fat and fiber slow down the rate at which the carbohydrates, which I believe it is 13 grams of carbs in one Hass avocado, will hit the bloodstream. So it doesn't spike the blood sugar, because when things enter the bloodstream very slowly, then the blood sugar doesn't spike fast, which then you can do 1 or 2 avocados on keto. Ghee is fine. It's fine if you don't have any type of whey or casein allergy to even ghee. I think that's it, right? Because we're at 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, don't forget, how many people are in the chat? Oh, 82 people. So many people come, it's not so many. There's something wrong with the algorithms, because I used to go live and have over 200 people every time. And now it's like, for some reason, people aren't getting the notifications for how many people are subscribed to me. But you guys, 82 watching, don't forget to like up the stream, because it does help me in the YouTube algorithm. And and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll make sure all the links below to the videos go in there when I get home and ride my bike in this racked up city. But I got to go horseback riding, you guys, yesterday, because you guys know I'm getting in the horses to get away from city madness. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining the chat. Thank you so much, Deborah. She's reminding you guys to subscribe to my keto course. Go to stephanieperson.com, or if you guys want a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com. And I've been doing this for a long time. You guys know I'm 52, and I've been strict keto for 12 years. No free refeeds, cheating, or nothing. I've learned a lot over the years of doing videos. And yes, I do low carb, high fat too. Thank you, Seeking Truth in Christ, who saw butter powder at Whole Foods. I don't know, child. That's weird. Butter powder? I don't even know what that is. Thank you, vegan. I know, right? Thank you, Vegan Deterioration and Sea Siren Janine, for coming on to my channel. And I will comment on yours. I normally don't comment because I don't want to be the troll that comments on other people's pages, but I watch you both, right? And Shar, especially because Shar does so many videos. I bet she got a video now. Let me see if she uploaded a video because I get notifications to my phone from her. Nope, not yet. Wait, no. Oh, yes. Wait, yes, you guys, I think this is her. Yeah, okay, let me prove to you guys that I watch her channel. Okay, look at this. There it is. You guys can't see it. You see that? You see, wait, there, that's my notification, Char. For her video. Oh, wait, let's go on to it. Since it won't be a copyright issue. There's her channel, you guys. Wait, let me get this right. Wait.
YouTube recommended a video.
There she's here. Listen to her voice.
Her newest video where she was showing the vegan substitutes for all the hungry, desperate vegans that want a vegan version of mayonnaise and stuff like that. So I was watching the video and I was listening to her voice, and I was just wondering, has her voice always sounded like it does now? And the best way that I can describe it is like dry and croaky. So I had to go back to some of her older videos. And I'm going to use like 3 separate videos, and the videos are like months and months apart.
Let me tell you something, Shar. Your way to describe things has me on the floor dying. She'd be like gray, crackly, dry skin from like a skin of a snake shedding or whatever. She just says funny stuff. They both have very calming voices. Sea Siren Janine is like this mother. She's very sweet. She's also really great. Janine, you're also really, really great at describing everything and going over other people's channels. But Char's just hitting it. She makes like so many videos a day, and I get all of them, and I watch all of them, Char. Okay? And I was gonna comment before, but I just waited to comment to Janine. I don't know why. I don't know why I did, Janine, but I did. Okay, so time for me to go. Right? Time for me to go home and eat some of that tallow. There it is, right there. Okay. I'm gonna eat some of that tallow. And I know. So you're going to get some subscribers. I think that people in this community don't support each other enough. I don't know what the big deal is. I'm always like, go to that person's channel, subscribe. No big deal. So thank you, everyone, for joining. And thank you, Deborah, for being my mod, of course. I love you. You're like so awesome. You too, Natalia. Have a great day. Nice evening. And thank you, Julie. I think I've seen you a few times. Seeking Truth in Christ. Of course, I see you. Thank you, Robert, and everyone else who made comments to the comment section. People on the replay. Blah, blah, I can't even talk today. Chill, okay? We had some technical difficulties. It's not my fault. It's the Greek guy.
From a Greek god, now I'm a Greek guy.
Exactly. He goes from Greek god to Greek guy because he made some mistakes. But we are trying to up this channel. We are trying to up it. Okay. And on that note, it's time to go. Yes, honey.
Παρακαλώ.
Παρακαλώ. Does that mean please?
Yeah.
Or?
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Have some oxtail. Yeah, oxtail is great. Oxtail. Just looking at okay, guys. Tell the Greek guy that. Is it? What is that? Tabat. How do you say that? What does that mean?
That's for nothing. The lamp was on.
Oh, okay. There's so many Greek. Is that a Greek name, Natalia? Yeah. Okay.
Yasu. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody on the replay. Book a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com, or you can go to my keto course, or you just go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic. I gotta go. Bye.